Hey guys, welcome back to an all new week of live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about social media and merchandising branded apparel for your customers online. So this is a little bit different, sometimes people will get a little confused whenever we're talking about this topic because it's not just about taking your day-to-day products that you're printing for your customers and putting them on social media, which I highly recommend that you do because it's the easiest way to market your business and get your products out in front of a lot of people. But when we talk about social media and merchandise specifically, what we're really doing is talking about the people that are online that you should be doing branded merchandise for, and then also collaborating with them through social media like Instagram, like TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, etc., because it'll help get you out there as a custom printer for people with a great online presence. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I see some of you folks commenting in already. Hello, Shayna. Always enjoy seeing you in the comments section. And hello, Vince. I see you guys commenting in from YouTube. Thanks so much for joining us over on the YouTube channel. We are also going live through Facebook, and I always love to see who's joining on from that side too. So love to know where you guys are joining from. We like to keep this very interactive, so feel free to comment. And one of the things I want to know first, if you guys are already in the chat box getting ready to comment, who are you targeting online for selling more product, right? So, who are some of those personalities that you're currently going after? And what social platform are you utilizing? If you don't have an answer to this, I want you guys to think about that because not only can we get out in front of customers in our local area, but social media has made it very easy to get in front of a very broad audience. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you should go after anybody and everybody on social media. You definitely want to pick your niche or your target market, who you're going to serve best and become the expert in doing their custom printed apparel. So I know a couple customers that I met in Long Beach. They focus very heavily on bands in their local area, and they do their branded merch for their on-site events. And then those folks will actually go to their social media and sell their merch on their platforms, right? So there's a lot of unique ways to go about this. That's just one of many. But what we're going to focus on today is why this is so important, why it's something that you should consider. And ultimately, it's about being able to get new prospects and think about other customer types that you can relate to and print product to, and ultimately be able to build more revenue at the bottom line of your business, right? So that's always the goal. We want to know how we can increase our bottom line and ultimately just get more customers and print more apparel for them. So this is a really unique way to do so. I know a lot of people go after local businesses and maybe local sports teams, but this is just another revenue stream that you should highly consider because it is so easy. So we all know influencers. We all know social media personalities. They're practically celebrities at this point. People call people who have a lot of followers on TikTok stars. So these are people that you definitely want to target specifically in your area because they're going to relate to you a little bit more. And then you want to think about what niche that you want to go after. So for this example today that we're going to kind of go through, we're going to be talking specifically about an Instagram influencer. I'm going to show you some really great examples of what people are already doing and how easy it is going to be for you to implement this as a heat printer who has access to a variety of different print options. All right, so it's all going to connect. Hello, everyone commenting in. Hi. Nicole, Jill, Nina, Craig, Embroid Print Now, Sharon. Thank you guys all for joining. Again, we are talking about Getting merchandise on social media, and an easy way to be able to do that is by connecting with those personalities that are on social media and having them wear the branded merch that you printed for them and also put it in front of their followers. So again, we're going to be breaking that down. One of the things I wanted to point out, and it's really, it really just kind of brings it to light. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you as a really good example of someone who is doing this very well. So you can see here, hold on one second. There we go. All right, so I'm sharing someone's Instagram here, and this is a very well-known artist. They're an illustrator based out of California. You can see their follower count there at 145,000. And I'm just going to scroll down through because this is what they post, right? They post a lot of their animations, all of the art that they create, and this is what attracts their followers. They're doing something unique. They're showing them just all the different things that they have created that really speaks to their audience, the people that they are following. So whenever we look at this influencer, this artist influencer, this internet personality, right? We notice that they're very bright and colorful. They use a lot of different colors in their art. And then you can start to see merch starting to fall in line here. Okay, so let's click this, for example. So this is a t-shirt that they created, right? So it looks like just drawings on a t-shirt, okay? So then we scroll back up and you can see that we have someone actually printing with more of like a screen print finish here, the art that they created, okay? So they have a following that because they like their art, now their followers are seeing, oh, I can get their art on a shirt and I can wear this and I can support this artist that I am a huge fan of, okay? So they're in front of 145,000 followers, okay? So if you were able to land this person as a customer to be able to print t-shirts from or for, you'll be in front of 145,000 followers, okay? So you can print that merch. Well, Mayfair got a hold of them and they print this artist's clothes, okay? So they're selling just this crew neck t-shirt for $78. Now, if even only 10% of their 145,000 followers purchased this sweatshirt, you can see the kind of revenue that you're capable of doing with someone that is going to be in front of that many people and publish this on their social media by collaborating with you as their custom printer, okay? So this is a very well-known artist. They have done a lot here. There's a lot of color being utilized here. They have a lot of print areas. It's very unique, but it speaks directly to that audience, okay? So whenever they're creating this apparel for them, they're speaking to that audience by using all those fun colors and unique placements, just kind of printed, or I like to term it as graffitiing basically a blank sweatshirt, okay? But they're able to pay $78. They're able to price it at $78 for that reason, okay? So then you can see here, there's a bundle and save option where maybe instead of not just getting the crew neck, you have the sweatpants or maybe the shorts as well, okay? And so this is just a unique way. This just is one example of many that are out there where you can see that custom printers are connecting with these online influencers or personalities who have a big following and are printing this merchandise to then go onto their social media to get in front of their following. Okay, so obviously this is something that you can collaborate on very easily with people, and you can see that they're doing very fun colors. So if I were to go to Mayfair and just check out what's new, you can see that they collaborate a lot with many influencers. So Mayfair, they have like their own line, but if I wanted to shop by influencer, which I can do here somewhere, but I don't know exactly where it's at. Then I can do that and I can find the influencer that I purchased from. So there's a lot of different options here. You can see that they did Mayfair buy, and then they used their Instagram handle. And then I'm able to go find their Instagram. Now, this is another very popular sweatshirt that has been trending all over social media. A lot of major influencers are wearing this sweatshirt and just taking a picture of it and maybe hashtagging Mayfair or adding them as a collaborator. You can see they're using just how many colors is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors on pink fleece, and they're charging $128. And they're able to warrant this price because of the influence that they have built around it, right? So if followers see that the person that they're following is posting in this, then they want to go and buy it just so that they can have something like the influencer that they are following. Okay. Influencers have become like celebrities. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that you can utilize here. So we're getting the point behind all of this, being able to find online influence, someone that has built a decent following. And don't think that you have to go above and beyond and outside of your comfort zone with this. Like I mentioned, we want to see you doing something that you can get behind and support. Like there is an influencer that I follow who is very much about women empowerment, and her name is Adeline Morin, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right and doing her justice. But she has now her own shoppable website where it's called, and she just released a line called Girls Supporting Girls. And she did all of this branded merch and herself photographed in it so that you could see all the different products that she is offering for this here. And she launched this right around the International Women's Day. So it's just, there's a lot behind it, but there's so many different things and so many different niches and markets that you can target by doing something like this. All right. So definitely think outside of the box, but also think about something that you relate to, because then you become passionate about that project and you want to be involved very heavily. And just, it helps with creativity and showing people what all they can do, because a lot of people that are wearing the product don't actually know what all goes into it. So you can become the expert for them with that. Now let's talk about blanks. So one thing that we notice is that whenever each of these influencers are wearing something in their photos or promoting it, it has a lot of color, or maybe it speaks to a specific branding opportunity for that influencer. But blanks are going to be a very big, role, right? So we want to source blanks that not only they are going to love, but are actually going to speak to them. Okay. And there are so many blank options out there. It's hard to know what's going to be the best fit. But again, that's what boils down to really knowing your niche and knowing your customer so that you can recommend the best thing, right? So if you're following someone and you want to do custom product for them, and you already know what they like because you're following them or you're in tune with what they promote on their social media, then you already have a leg up on the competition because you know what blanks to offer. So as you can see across the 3 that I shared, you'll see a lot of fleece, okay? T-shirts are always going to be, the go-to. We can print as many t-shirts as we want. But fleece is really that next level item that you can get a little bit more for, right? You can kind of get to a price point that's going to build the most profit opportunity into what you are offering your customer or your influencer. All right, so if we go to Lane 7 Apparel, so I'm going to share my screen with you again. Lane 7 has a ton of really great fleece options. And the reason that I love Lane 7 is because they speak directly to that influencer type of apparel where it is a nice soft fleece. It's a little bit heavier weight. You can tell it's definitely more premium, and they guarantee no pilling. Okay. So PILLING, no pilling. So we're not getting little balls on the fleece whenever we are washing it. It's going through a wash cycle. Another thing that I really like is the Urban line. And the reason I do really love this line from Lane 7 is because they offer a lot of really unique colors. So you'll notice here that this color here mimics this color that we saw for the Your Emotions Are Valid crew neck. Okay. And that is why I love this Urban line, because it speaks to a lot of those really unique colors that we're seeing trending on social media. So I'm going to go to Shop Collection, and you'll see a lot of really great colors. So this pink is very popular. We all love this blue, and of course this like dark sage. So a lot of different colors to choose from, but you can see that they also have matching sets. So that way you don't have to just offer the hoodie or offer a crew neck. You can do a matching set and get a pair of matching joggers with that too. So as we saw on Mayfair, and this one does it as well, they do a bundle and save to complete the look. So instead of paying $128 for just this crew neck, now we're seeing this for $115 and these for $70. So that we can save them money and they'll be more likely to bundle to complete the look, because that's how it's being photographed on social media. Okay, so Lane 7 does a really great job with that. Definitely check them out if you haven't yet. I believe you can source them through Alpha Broder. So if you are using them as a distributor, that is a really great option. And then, of course, Alternative. So we all know and love Alternative. They do a lot of really great fleece styles. And I was just talking with them, and they actually sent us some really nice fleece styles to test our new Ultra Color Max product on. And works like a charm, looks beautiful. And that's another thing whenever you guys are thinking about recreating things like this, you want to think about, okay, I don't want to screen print this because that's 5 different colors. And I definitely don't want to weed and cut out all of that heat transfer vinyl. So if I'm doing a lot of color, what's my best next option? You want to think digital there. So Ultra Color Max is going to work beautifully for printing a lot of color. And it's going to work great on a lot of these different fleece styles. Okay, so definitely don't rule out Alternative. We're all very familiar with Alternative. If you haven't worked with Alternative yet, highly recommend. Their fleece is very nice. And then another one is Independent Trading Company. I really like their fleece. I just have a friend, I just was talking with a friend who launched a coffee roasting company here in Austin, and they wanted to know what fleece that they should get to add to their merch line. And I had some Independent Trading Company fleece laying around that I showed them, and they absolutely loved it. So that's what they're going to end up ordering for their merch line. So if you can do that, that's going to work well in your favor, kind of getting those blanks in hand so that the person can see it, and then will feel comfortable recommending that for their followers to purchase. Okay, so we talk blanks, then we want to talk about what we're going to print on those blanks. So as I mentioned earlier, We talked a lot about just really knowing the niche, knowing the person's audience, and you can find all of that out right on their social platform. Where are they speaking to their audience most? Either their Instagram, their Facebook, their TikTok, whatever it may be, whoever you're targeting, check out the social media platform that they have the biggest following and see what they're posting there. That's going to help align what you should be printing for your customer so that you can easily speak to them. And then it's less of a cold call and it's more of a warm opportunity. You know enough about them to speak about what they're already interested in, and then you can align the merch with that. All right, so as I mentioned, we are going to be working with Alternative, and we are just going to do a fun little print. I absolutely love this star pattern fleece that they offer. And you can get this in a bunch of different colors as well. So again, this is Alternative, and they have a matching jogger set, right? So if I was going to be reaching out to one of these influencers that are very big on empowerment and want to be able to offer something that is positive, then we want to be able to do something fun like this. Absolutely love this color. And the star pattern just adds to it. Now, whenever we are thinking about this star pattern, of course, this is already printed, but that's okay as long as you have a cover sheet. You don't have to worry about any damage being done to those stars or to your heat press. So if we are going to replicate some of the looks that we're seeing with all the colors, what's going to be the easiest option for me? So if I'm just sampling and I want to show them that I can create stuff that's already trending, then and making sure that it speaks to them as well, then I'm going to want to just create a sample with heat transfer vinyl because it's the easiest thing to do to just get a one-off. Now you can order Ultra Color Max. I didn't have enough time to order Ultra Color Max to get all the colors that I wanted. So I'm thinking, okay, if I want to offer a lot of different colors, but I don't want to have to cut and weed a ton of heat transfer vinyl, what I'm going to do is cut some CAD cut adhesive and do foil, okay? This can help me very easily produce something with a fun finish, which is definitely going to be unique in comparison to what we're seeing because all the colors that we saw in there were not a metallic finish. It was just a basic matte finish. And then I'm just going to cut another color that I don't have in foil. So now I have less steps at the vinyl cutter and less steps at the heat press because I'm just going to mix and match foil with my Ultra Weed. Okay, so we're going to be doing the royal and green foil, and we're going to pair it with this pale yellow, and we're going to put it over top of this fleece that's already printed with stars. Okay, so a lot of different ways that you can do this. Think outside the box whenever you're sourcing your apparel and sourcing the heat transfer that you want to use. And I'm going to be utilizing pillows today because the fleece that we are working with has a lot of thick seams, and we want to make sure we're getting even pressure. So the first thick seam that we're going to be working around is this front pocket seam. Okay, so if I were to just lay this completely flat on my platen, my concern would be uneven pressure. And for those of you that have been watching us for a long time, you know we are big on getting a nice even pressure. So that is why we use interchangeable platens and heat press pillows. Now I'm working with an A to Z, so I'm already at a 15 by 15 dimension, which is going to limit me with what platen I can interchange. So I'm just going to use this pillow instead, and it is going to raise my print area for me. And those thick seams are just going to fall off to the side. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is preheat. I am going to use a cover sheet again because those stars are printed on, and I don't want those to stick to my upper heating element. Going to increase my pressure a bit because it feels a little light. Okay, And the first thing that I'm going to do is apply my yellow, okay? The reason that I'm doing this is because I want the foil to be the last application so that we get that dull, or we don't get that dull, like low luster shine, but we get the bright mirror-like finish. So I'm going to apply the yellow first. And again, this is Ultra Weed Pale Yellow. And I'm just adjusting my pillow here slightly to make sure my design is on there. All right, and I'm just gonna tack this for a few seconds. That tack is just gonna help me speed up my application. All right, and that tack is just like 3 to 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be super long. And then that is a hot peel, so I can go ahead and remove that carrier. And then I'm gonna take my adhesive, and that is going to be a bit of a light pressure. So we're gonna dial back our pressure before we apply this one. So even though Ultra Weed can apply as low as 260, because we are mixing medias here and we're applying the Ultra Weed with adhesive, we need to go at that adhesive temperature. So just keep that in mind whenever you are mixing medias. You still want to use the highest temp of the product that you're mixing with. Okay. All right, and adhesive is a hot peel, and it's only like a 5-second application. So you can see I just let that set on there for about 5 seconds, and then I'm peeling that hot. And now we can have some fun with the foils. So the foil is just going to stick down to the adhesive. So for those of you that have not worked with adhesive and foil, it's very fun. You can do a lot of unique things with it because the adhesive goes down and you cut that out like you would any other product, heat transfer vinyl product. And then you just lay it down over whatever color or whatever piece of adhesive that's applied, and then it will stick to that. All right, and I'm just gonna put that one there. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of the blue down. I'm actually gonna do this one here. And now I don't have to go in and actually piece the green. All I have to do is cover the entire design. All right, so I pieced out the blue and covered what parts of the adhesive that I wanted to. And now I'm just going to cover the entire design with the green, and that's going to cover any of the exposed adhesive. So I don't have to piece those in at all. All right, now we're going to cover with a cover sheet, and we're going to make sure that we apply this at a nice firm pressure. Okay, that firm pressure is going to cure the foil to the adhesive and make sure it's really on there. Now, this is going to be a cold peel. We want to make sure that we have a nice cool to the touch feel for the product before we remove that foil, because we need to give the adhesive time to cool down and let the foil adhere to it. Okay, so when you're working with adhesive and foil, adhesive is going to be a light application and a hot peel. Then we use the foil on top of the adhesive. It's going to be a firm application with a cold peel. Okay, so we're just going to wait for that to cool. And once it's cool to touch, you can go ahead and peel that back, and you can see that the foil is just sticking right to where that adhesive was. All right, so now I can pick off the blue. All right, so now we have a mix of green, blue, and yellow, and all I had to do was cut 2 total heat transfer vinyls on the vinyl cutter, okay? So a lot of fun stuff that you can do with foil. Keep this in mind whenever you just need something really quick and easy to show a special effect finish with a lot of color, especially if you're going after some of these influencers that have this trending type of effect. They speak to that type of audience. All right. And it also helps that we had a really nice blank. The blank does a lot for a design. Okay. All right. So then we're just going to basically repeat those same steps with the joggers, of course. Now this will be a little bit redundant, but it's still very important. You want to be able to offer fleece sets, okay? So I'm just using a leg and sleeve platen here. I'm going to lay that across my platen, and I'm just going to print the pocket area, but I am going to pull that pocket out, okay? So that that seam doesn't cause any uneven pressure and I can get exactly where I need to on the leg, okay? All right, I just have to figure out where I put my transfer. I always manage here. There it is, just dropped on the floor. Okay. So we are going to do the yellow first. Again, we want to make sure that the foil is the last step of the application. And what I'm doing is just repeating the same design that is on the top, but I am doing a little bit of a different setup of that design, but it's the same text. Sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of an issue with my press. Okay. All right, so again, just a few seconds there, and then we can remove that carrier. And then we're going to go in with the adhesive. I'm just adjusting my pillow a little bit. Make sure it's on there. And while that is locked down, I'm going to go ahead and sheet off my foil. That way it is ready to go for my last application. So once you're consistently working with these products, you are going to be able to do it really quickly. So even though the first one looked like it was taking a while, it's just because there were a lot of different steps to explain, but it really is an easy application. All right, some comments coming in. Okay, Renee, where can I get the Star sweatshirt? You can find it through Alternative, and it's being sold through S&S Activewear. All right, and if I remove that pillow, that'll help release that heat faster, so this will cool down quicker. Okay, looks like we have Allison taken care of. Want to go to Stalls International. Hello, everybody. All right, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Comment those in. All right, so I'm just going to remove the foil from the adhesive. Nice and simple, right? So green, blue, yellow. All we had to do was cut out the yellow and the adhesive, and now we have a fun 3-color design. Now, we didn't even have to cut out the yellow if we didn't want to. You can get a bunch of rolls of foil in different colors and patterns, okay? So this is our coral. This is the aqua, which is kind of like a teal. This is a cheetah pattern, and this is like a really fun, like sparkle silver. So even if you just wanted a stock adhesive and then have a bunch of these little rolls on hand, you can do that and get really fun and creative. And then maybe instead of just piecing the blue and the green in different areas, I could just do a bunch of random pieces all over the place and then fill in the void areas with one big sheet, which we have done before. We have a video of showing what that process looks like on the YouTube channel. So definitely be sure to check that out if you want to see the outcome of using a bunch of different colors of foil all over. We call it the graffiti effect. But lots of fun stuff that you guys can do with heat transfer vinyl. That's why I love heat transfer vinyl. But if you guys don't want to fool around with vinyl cutting, you can very easily just do that with Ultra Color Max. Okay, so if you just want full color, you're not so concerned with the special effect finish, then Ultra Color Max is going to allow you to get as many designs as you want on that big gang sheet, and you can do a ton of color on there. All right, so all right, I'm so glad you guys like how it turned out. I was so focused on like finding influencers and everything that just kind of quickly piece this together. Thank goodness for Carver. Shout out to Carver for sending me the samples from Alternative to test with our products, or else I kind of would have been SOL. All right, so guys, we are going to be in Atlantic City next week. So be sure to, if you're going to be there, be sure to stop by the booth. We're going to be doing a ton of hands-on demonstrations, and of course, you guys can get hands-on with the equipment and the products as well. So definitely be sure to check that out. And of course, we will be back the following week live with you guys. But thanks so much for attending. We'll see you next time.